Looking back, I can definitely tell there were subtle changes in my marriage, but I don't remember when it all began. The ground beneath my feet had been shifting, creating a sound similar to the gentle crack of breaking ice. But I had been preoccupied with other things. I believed I was doing a good job of providing, of protecting, because I trusted that people would notice, building a foundation for the future. That's the job of a husband. Or so I thought. My wife, Emily, always seemed satisfied, if not overjoyed, with our 5 years of marriage. 5 years where I worked long hours, gave up weekends, sacrificed time, and after all that, I truly believed she saw me the same way I saw her. We had finally started saving up for a nice life together, a future, a home, a dream. But I see now, I was mistaken. Emily had never seen me as her partner, not really. I wasn't her equal. I wasn't her love. I was a practical helper. Someone to shoulder the weight of responsibility while she lived her life however she pleased. The saddest thing? I let her. She convinced me to put her name on my accounts. I let her go on a spending spree with my hard-earned money. I allowed her to deceive me, believing it was about trust. All the while, she wore that flawless grin and claimed to love me. But her heart? Her heart was somewhere else. That's the problem with betrayal. You never see it coming. Not until it's staring you in the face. Not until it's laughing at you. It wasn't always this way. When we first got married, I genuinely believed we were in love. Emily was beautiful, outgoing, the kind of woman who could walk into a room and make everyone turn their heads. And she chose me. That should have been my first red flag. I was never the showy guy. I wasn't the rich bachelor driving a sports car. I wasn't the kind of man who tossed money around to impress a woman. I was solid, dependable, sturdy, the kind of man who worked hard, who built things from the ground up. Emily, on the other hand, she was drawn to status. She loved the idea of money, of luxury, of being admired. I thought she loved me for my heart, for my loyalty, for the life I was building for us. But over time, I started noticing the shifts, the small jabs about my job, how I worked too much, but somehow still wasn't ambitious enough. The way she compared me to her friends' husbands, men who had money handed to them, men who had power, prestige, the endless hunger for more. At first, I thought it was normal. Every couple has challenges. Every marriage has growing pains. But then the secrets started. She got distant, always on her phone, texting someone late at night. She started going out more, always with an explanation. Just a girls' night. I need space. She stopped asking about my day, stopped caring about the long hours I put in, and soon I began to feel like a stranger in my own home. Yet still, I didn't question her, because love makes you blind. And I was blind. Then one day, everything changed. It was a routine Friday evening. I had just finished a long shift, tired, but relieved to be home. As I pulled into the driveway, I saw it. Brand new car, a sleek black sports car. My heart swelled. Had Emily bought me a car? I had been driving the same sedan for years, putting off getting a new one because we were saving for a bigger house. But maybe this was her way of surprising me. Maybe she appreciated me after all. I walked inside, feeling lighter than I had in weeks. The scent of perfume and expensive cologne filled the air. Something stronger, something that didn't belong to me. And then I heard laughter. His laughter. That's when I saw them. Emily, sitting on the couch. A man I didn't recognize beside her. A half-full glass of wine in her hand. My stomach twisted. She turned, smiling like nothing was wrong. "Oh, hey, honey. You're home early." I froze. The casual way she said it. The lack of shame. The way she barely even reacted to me being there. Like I was an afterthought. I stared at the man, mid-30s, dressed in designer everything, grinning like he belonged here. He didn't even stand, and that's when Emily jumped up, grabbing a set of keys off the table. She moved, not toward me, toward him. She handed him the keys. "Here you go, babe," she murmured, placing a kiss on his cheek. The air was knocked from my lungs. She wasn't giving me the car. She was giving it to him. The room spun. My hands clenched at my sides, nails digging into my palms. I could have exploded. Right then and there, but Emily wasn't done. She turned back to me, smirking. Before I could even speak, she tossed something at me, a box of cleaning supplies, bottles of disinfectant, paper towels, sponges, stuff I had always bought for the house. There. "You go," she remarked with a wink. "Time for you to help around the house?" And then, the bastard laughed. I swear, I don't remember breathing. I don't remember anything, except the cold, burning rage rushing through my veins. The sound of my heartbeat pounding in my ears. I gazed at her. The woman I had loved. The woman I had given everything to, and I felt nothing but hate. I didn't argue. I didn't fight. I just turned around, went upstairs, and grabbed a suitcase. I packed meticulously, only the basics, my clothes, my laptop, my documents. Not once did she stop me. Not once did she beg. Not once did she ask where I was going, because in her eyes, I was replaceable. But what she didn't realize was that this moment would cost her everything. She thought I was weak. She had no idea. With one final glance at the life I was leaving behind, I picked up my suitcase and walked out the front door. She didn't follow. I stepped into the night, and for the first time in years, I felt free. Threw me away, and now you expect me to fix your mess? No, Emily, I'm done. Oliver, please, she implored, her voice cracking. I don't have any place to turn. You're the only one who ever actually cared about me. I smirked. She had finally recognized what she lost. But it was too damn late. No, I replied simply. You'll figure it out. And then I hung up. Silence used to be my adversary. In my marriage, I had spent every quiet moment fighting to pull Emily back. If she felt distant, I worked harder. If she was sad, I fixed it. If she wanted anything, I made sure she got it. Because in my mind, that's what love was. I was wrong. Now silence was my greatest weapon. Because in the silence, Emily was unraveling. The call that changed everything. It had been 2 weeks since I left. 2 weeks since I walked away from my house, my wife, and everything I once thought was mine. Emily had called, texted, even reached out through mutual friends. At first, her messages were casual. Then they became angry. Then desperate. But I ignored them all, until that night. The phone rang at exactly 11:43 p.m. I was in bed, staring at the ceiling, exhaustion pressing down on me. I almost ignored it, until I saw the caller ID Emily. I don't know why, but something in my gut told me to pick up, so I did. Hello? For a few seconds, all I heard was breathing, then a voice I barely recognized. Oliver. She sounded different. Not smug. Not snarky. Not taunting. She sounded afraid. Emily falls apart. I sat up, gripping the phone. What's wrong? A whimper. Then another. Then full-blown sobbing. Oliver, please, she gasped. I need you to come back. I blinked. 2 weeks ago, she had laughed. As I walked out the door. 2 weeks ago, she had put another man in a car and tossed me cleaning supplies. And now she was breaking. I can't, I said simply. You made your choice. She inhaled sharply, like I had struck her. No, I wasn't thinking. I was foolish. I was selfish. I didn't understand what I was doing. I let the silence stretch. I wanted her to feel it. The same emptiness I had felt when I realized my marriage had been a one-sided investment. Then finally, she told me the truth. The lover, departs Daniel, the man she had chosen over me, was gone. At first, everything had been fun. He enjoyed the gifts, the luxury, the ease. But the moment the bills started piling up, the moment Emily needed help, he vanished, just like I knew he would. He won't even answer my calls, Emily muttered. He took the car and just left. I laughed, truly laughed, because the irony was too perfect. I had warned her. I had told her right as I walked out. I hope he was worth it, clearly. He wasn't. That's harsh, I said, my voice cold. Emily sniffed. Please, Oliver, I messed up. I know I don't deserve it, but I need you. I shook my head, even though she couldn't see me. No, Emily, you don't need me, you need money. A pause, then softer, more broken. I can't do this alone. For a moment, I almost felt bad for her, almost, because for years she had made me feel like I was alone too. When I worked late nights, she didn't care. When I struggled to keep up with payments, she didn't notice. When I was exhausted, drained, barely hanging on, she never once asked if I was okay. Now she wanted my support? No. She had buried me in burdens for years. Now, she could drown in them alone. Emily's last attempt. Please, she whispered. Just come home. We can fix this. I leaned back, staring at the ceiling. I don't have a home there anymore, I said, simply. That house, that life, it's yours now. A small, terrified breath. No, it's not mine. It's ours, Oliver. I need you to come back. I can change. I will change. I just need you here. Now she wanted to change. Now she knew what she had lost. But it was too late. I exhaled. Do you even know why you want me back, Emily? A pause. Then, a weak whisper. Because you're the one true thing I ever had. For the first time, her voice sounded honest. I closed my eyes, letting the words sink in. And for a second, just a second, I thought about it. The years we spent together. The memories. The love I had given her. The future I had envisioned. Then, I remembered everything else, how easy it had been for her to betray me, how she had laughed in my face, how she had believed without hesitation that I would always be there. And just like that, all the emotion evaporated. I opened my eyes, and the answer was clear. No, I said, I'm not coming back. She sucked in a breath. Oliver, please. I hope you figure things out, I cut her off. But that's not my problem anymore. And then I hung up. The moment of freedom, as. Soon as the call ended, I felt lighter. For so long I had been weighed down by obligation, by guilt, by the belief that I owed Emily my loyalty, no matter what. But now, I was free. I glanced at my phone, waiting. I knew she would call again. Sure enough, it buzzed. I didn't pick up. I didn't need to, because for the first time in years, I was done.